Hey everyone, yes, I am back in this shirt. I am wearing it again, totally by mistake, but here we are. So yesterday we vlogged all day long. I know we've been MIA for a little bit and we're gonna tell you all about that. But yesterday we vlogged all day long and we actually wound up vlogging a little too much. And so as I'm editing this video, I'm like, I think I need to cut it up. It's gonna be 2 vlogs, but here's where it gets a little confusing. I'm actually this vlog that you're gonna watch right now is actually the second half of the day. And so in a couple days, I'll drop the first part of the day. Kind of weird, but you'll understand why. Because right off the bat, we wanna let you know where we've been and what we've been up to. So with that, let's start the vlog.
It is bedtime for Caleb.
Yeah.
And not that we look forward to this, but this is definitely like our time that we can decompress. Like we spend the whole day planning for Caleb. Yesterday, I had an amazing time with him in Tucson, which Tucson is about a 2-hour drive down south. Had to pick up something, but we also ventured around the city, which is kind of cool. So we came home, had a great time, and then today was fun with Mike, right? Fun with Daddy. So.
Yeah, I didn't vlog it, unfortunately. I should have, of course. I always think about that after the fact. But we went to Barnes & Noble. He really likes going there. He likes going, because Barnes & Noble, it's kind of like a toy store / bookstore
it kind of
right
is
now.
Nowadays.
So,
it's not the old school bookstore that we're used to, right? So it used to be just bookstore and Starbucks, but you did get Starbucks, right?
We did go to the little cafe there, yes. Yeah. He picked out a cupcake. It was enormous. I was a little nervous. I was like, it's a lot of sugar
overload.
I did tell him he could have a treat while we were there if he was good.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it was nice that we had a really good time in town because, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, we were actually out of town.
Yeah.
Right?
So 2 weeks ago, Steve surprised me with a trip to Hollywood. And we've mentioned before, I love going to Hollywood. It's so fun. We just went for a real quick weekend. I didn't want Caleb to miss any school. Right. So we got up, we took him to school. It was a Friday. Yeah. We took him to school. And then when we picked him up, because he goes half day, then we got on the road. So we drove there. Caleb was great on the drive, too.
Amazing drive. And by the way, this is like a 6-hour drive. He was phenomenal.
He was very good.
Probably better than a flight to Orlando.
Yes, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, so I think now that he's getting older, he understands how to travel. So I'm actually looking forward to an Orlando trip based off of this drive to Hollywood. So
yeah. But we got in, we actually gain an hour going to California right now because of the time change. So we got in at I think 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we just went right to our hotel. We got some room service. We stayed at the Hollywood Roosevelt, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a classic old haunt.
And something we should mention, the Hollywood Roosevelt, you can totally tell just by walking in, it was obviously an inspiration for Hollywood Tower of Terror in Disney World. So we had this fabulous hotel. We had an awesome view. Yeah. You could actually see the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood sign from our window. And we had a window that showed right into
Hollywood Boulevard.
You could see the Hollywood Roosevelt sign right from our window. I got some footage of that.
But not just that. You also saw the Chinese theater.
Yep.
Right? So you saw all that. You could see the actual, the stars on the ground. What is it called?
Yeah, it was also the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So our first night, like I said, we just kind of got in. We got some room service. And oh my gosh, this room service was so good. It was steak frites. And you know how we room service can be hit or miss. Sometimes it's not all that great.
Not this time.
It was like going to a steakhouse. Yeah. It was amazing.
It was so good. It was so good. And we got lucked out because it was a suite. So Caleb was able to sleep in the main bedroom area. And we had the whole living room area to ourselves. So we were able to actually stretch out, relax. It was like a home away from home.
Exactly. It was great. It was funny because you mentioned last night on our Instagram, one of the things you love about me is that when you take me onto these fabulous vacations, I live it up. And I totally was. We were only there for an hour and I was just chilling and relaxed. I had my steak frites. You made us martinis in the room. I did. We had, like I said, we had this fabulous view from our window. Right. I was just I am in heaven right now.
So one of the awesome things that Mike didn't surprise me with, but some of the things he did, he actually brought a stationary bar kit. Right. So we have everything. So literally comfort of our home in a hotel. Yeah. So we're living it up great.
And that's one of the great things about going to some place like California. We can just drive there, so we can just throw everything into the car.
The comforts of home are in our car. So you don't have to worry about the traditional, everything you have to buy is local, not so much. So we were able to bring a lot of stuff there.
Right.
But what do we do the next day?
So the next day, little man, he watches Blippi. And there was an episode maybe like a year ago where Blippi went to a beach, and Caleb's never seen a beach before.
Gosh. And it's been nonstop.
Oh
with
my
this
gosh!
beach
Like
talk.
every week there'll be a couple days. He's like, I want to go to a beach.
Yeah.
It's like
we live in Arizona. It's a desert. It's a desert. We don't have like beaches. We have beachy waters on lakes,
Right.
but we don't have a beach. So we made a point. Even though we were in Hollywood, we drove to Malibu. We gotta find a safe way to get down there. Okay?
All right, here we are. We're in Malibu, and this is Caleb's very first time seeing the ocean. Yep.
And Frank, like, it's not that far of a drive.
Yeah,
it's
not.
probably like 30, 40-minute drive, but I think it was like the perfect thing for him.
Yeah.
It was a little bit cloudy, but it was beautiful outside, and we had the beach all to ourselves.
Yeah, so it was a little cloudy, a little overcast. It was barely drizzling, not even. So we didn't have swimsuits. We didn't do that whole thing. But we walked down to the beach. We went into the sand, and Caleb had a ball.
Whoa, look at
Soft
It
sand, huh?
makes footprints. You're right.
it.
You're dancing.
No kicking,
let's
no
not
kicking.
kick sand.
No kicking.
Wow.
He did.
He thought it was so cool. The tide coming in and out. Like Steve said, the beach was almost empty. There really wasn't anyone there, but there were a few surfer guys there.
Which
and
Caleb loved.
thought it was
Oh
the
my
coolest
gosh.
thing ever. They said hi to him
Very
as they were
cool.
walking by.
Yeah, he definitely hammed it up. And frankly, like, even if it was warm, like, Caleb doesn't like cold water. California waters are pretty cold, right? So it's not like we're going to go out there and surf anyhow. But I think he had, like, the best possible experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, I've been to Malibu a few times for work. And I thought, like, I know where we got to go for dinner
Lunch.
I know where we have to go for lunch for this because, frankly, I've been there a couple times and I know the way to Mike's heart, and that's like, classic like Hawaiian lunch is the way to Mike's heart.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this amazing place called Duke's on Malibu, which is actually, it's not just Duke's on Malibu, it's a little bit everywhere, but it's the classic like quintessential like Hawaiian like fare. And frankly, we had a great lunch there.
It was really good, yeah.
And it's right on the water, so you literally just like sit there and you see everything on the water. So
The great thing about Duke's at Malibu was, again, we got to eat outside,
Yeah.
which was really nice. So we had a little bit of comfort there. They had really, really great, Caleb got fish.
he got
we
fish.
shared
So he got
the
fish
shrimp.
and chips, which, by the way, as a kid, when you say fish and chips, he's like,
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where are the chips? Where are the chips?
He was disappointed.
He's like, no, but I'm sorry, they're not chips, it's fish and fries, but
Right.
like, don't say it that way, but...
The food was really great. We got Mai Tais. It was fabulous. It was kind of like we got our little Trader Sam's fix.
Exactly.
So it was perfect.
Yeah.
So then after that, we went back to our hotel. We kind of rested for a little bit. And we were that morning, we had actually walked the Hollywood Walk to go to Starbucks, and we noticed the El Capitan Theatre was playing Encanto.
So I don't know if everybody knows El Capitan Theatre. So
yeah.
El Capitan Theatre is like the quintessential, like the premier theater that Disney does right on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It has an amazing marquee. Right next to it is an awesome like soda
the soda
shop,
shop, yeah.
right? So like we've been there a couple times. Just to the soda shop. We've actually never seen a movie there.
Yeah, we've never done it before. We
Never seen a
always
movie.
have every intention, but it never happens.
And I don't think you all know this, but Caleb is obsessed with
Oh,
Encanto. He's obsessed with
watch
Encanto.
it every day. We watch it every day, and we listen to it in the car
Yes.
every time we go out.
So when the marquee was flashing as we're walking to Starbucks, it was flashing Encanto. Like, and by the way, Caleb says Encanto.
Oh, yeah.
So when he saw it, he's like, it's the strong girl. It's
Yeah.
Luisa.
Yeah, Luis is his favorite character.
Absolutely. So we saw it and we're like, oh my gosh, how awesome would it be if he was
Yeah.
able to see that there? So like, we were a little bit reserved on it because we're like, okay, well, it's indoors. We want to make sure we're careful. But we looked at like the theater, like you can actually buy your seats ahead of time.
So we got tickets, and like Steve said, we were able to choose our seats. It wasn't very busy, so we felt very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And there, we did have to show proof of vaccination before we got in.
Proof
So-
of vaccination, you got to wear your mask the entire time unless
Right.
you were eating or drinking actively at that moment. And it was a 2-tier theater. So think of it like a traditional like playhouse. Like if you're going to go see like a musical or a play, we were actually on the mezzanine above everybody else. So
Right.
like when we say we were spaced out, probably a theater of like, I don't know, 600 people. We were like one of 20.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty sparse.
Yeah.
But
Oh, wow. That's like your own door. You got your own door. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Oh yeah, they gave us a stamp, huh?
Okay, so I'm showing this.
Yeah. One of the things that's really cool is that right now they have an organ player who does kind of like a pre-show. He basically plays Disney hits on the organ, and you get to watch that before your show starts.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome house organist Dean Mora.
A gentleman comes out at one point. He's kind of like the MC. He kind of hosts the evening for you, and he kind of gives you a little bit of history about the theater. And what was really cool is that he was like, you can absolutely film, you can take as many pictures as you want. We just ask that when the actual movie starts, you put your camera away.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, so I was able to get lots of good footage of the theater itself, but they also do I think they called it a curtain show, which was really cool. So I'm gonna put that in here right now for you guys to all see. So yeah, that was really, really cool to see live. First time we ever got to experience it.
I mean, frankly, we've been to like the theatrics of like an amazing like stage presence like that. But of course, this is the first time for Caleb. He's like, when's the movie gonna start? When's the movie gonna start? When's the movie gonna start?
He's like, wait, what?
Like, what? He's like, why are there 3 different curtains? But he understood eventually, like, it all started. But I think he had a great time.
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. Got to see it. And I actually, like I said, we watch this movie all the time. It is a great movie. I love it. I'm not complaining. But I did get a little bit emotional seeing it in that theater, in that environment, because it's just, the music is loud. It was awesome.
Let's be honest. So we've seen, we're fans. We are big fans. So we've seen Encanto twice here in the theaters. So rest assured, we've seen it in a theater. So it's not like we're just like actually watching it like on Apple TV, but we've seen it in the theaters. We saw it nonstop every single day for the last 60 days with Caleb.
Because we saw it when it first came out. We saw it the week of Thanksgiving. And then Caleb, we were listening to it in the car. And I was like, I kind of want to see it again. Right? So we went the next weekend to go see it. And then it came on Disney Plus on Christmas Eve.
But there's something amazing about like an over-the-top like viewing of it like in this kind of a theater. It was absolutely amazing. So
for sure,
what we can recommend is anytime anybody goes to Hollywood, if you can see any kind of movie in El Capitan, you definitely need to go do that. Like, it was our first time, and I think it's probably gonna be a staple for us moving forward. Definitely. I think so.
So, but that was pretty much our trip. After the movie, we went back to our room. We actually got room service again. I got the same thing. It was that good. It was delicious.
Basic Mike, but like it was that good. I had a couple bites of it as well. Yeah. Let's be honest.
So, but one thing that was funny is that because on the walk back from El Capitan to our theater, we walked right by the Chinese theater.
Grumman's theater.
Man, it was so funny. He was like, where's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
Where's it at? Like, that's it, right? Are we going to go on the ride? Like,
and he even said that. He said Runaway Rail. He didn't call it Mickey Train
right?
like he usually do, but he was so thrown off. He was like, wait a minute.
Loved it. So, like, we saw it on the way to Starbucks. We saw it on the way back from the movie. Like, the kid, like, he's aware. He's very aware. So, love that moment. So,
it was funny.
Yes, we have a little Hollywood kid with us.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, of course, we did check out the lobby bar. We grabbed a couple drinks, a little snack before going up to our room. It was phenomenal.
But I think we had a great time. It was a great getaway. I think we had a good weekend as well here in Arizona. So,
yeah.
I think, overall, we're happy to... It's been a while since we've vlogged with you guys, so we apologize for that. But, like, frankly, again... Life gets away, right?
It does. We've just been really busy, coming, especially, I'm sure all of you can relate, coming off the holidays. It was like, we kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break and
So, but we're happy we did this. We're happy that we're going to be scheduling a trip to Disneyland pretty soon, right?
Yep.
We mentioned that in our Q&A. If you haven't actually watched our Q&A on Instagram, are you going to save it as a highlight?
I'm going to save it as a highlight so you can go on our Instagram and see it whenever you want.
But with that, I think that wraps us up tonight.
I think so, yeah. Well, I hope you guys had fun. I know we sure did, getting back in front of the camera, getting back into the swing of things. You're definitely going to hear from us a lot more going forward. I think this is going to be the year of Magic Dads.
Is it? Let's make it happen. Yes. 2022.
We'll see. We hope you liked this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And from our Magic family to yours, enjoy.